So this is just a quick guide on how to launch and run 2 copies of Borderlands 3 at the same time so you can have 2 characters in-game together for additional loot, XP, money, etc. It's very useful for farming. I'm starting off by using this tutorial that Neurobasher posted on Reddit for launching the game through Steam in offline mode. It involves going through the Epic Launcher logs and copying a specific options that the Epic Launcher uses to launch the game with what looks like authentication information and things of that nature. You copy that and you set that in Steam. I've already have this set up, so I will let that post be the definitive reference, but I have my launch options in Steam set here so that I can play the game offline. Once it's properly set up, you should be able to just press play in Steam twice. While this loads, a few interesting notes are you can't really expect it to run as well. Obviously, you're running 2 copies of the game at the same time. I have it set to run at 75% resolution scale for both instances of the game, which allows my performance to be around 60% with dips down to 40%. This is acceptable for me for the purposes of farming, even though I would like it to be better when I'm playing the game normally. When you're using this, you should only have different characters in the game. They can be the same Vault Hunter, but they have to be different save files. If you load the same save file on both instances of the game, that can cause issues with the save getting corrupted a little bit. I experimented some and didn't like what happened. And then sometimes the LAN connection between the 2 instances of the game doesn't work quite right, and we'll see if it happens today, but usually one instance can connect to the other, but not the other direction. I'm not sure why this happens, and it usually doesn't cause much of a problem. I've also looked into if this can be done as a split screen replacement on PC, and I haven't had luck yet, but if I see anything, I will update this. So here I'm just loading Moze on this instance and Amara on this one, and I'm going to go into social. You'll notice that the traditional online roster tab and shift page, mailbox, those all don't work, but the LAN page is available, and you can just click and select the other instance to load into. In this case, it looks like it's not joining instantly, in which case it takes about a minute to time out, and we will switch to Moze and have Moze join Amara. Alright, so that timed out, as expected. We will switch over to Moze and go to the social page and join Amara. In this case, it works instantly. You'll notice that the characters that are joining in the corner, it's not quite right because this one should say Amara and this should be Amara. But if we switch over here, it's similarly borked, except Moze shows up there. Ultimately, it doesn't really matter. We will just load into the game normally, and in-game it functions well enough, even though it doesn't quite know how to map the usernames and Vault Hunters properly. It's just a little confused. So Amara has loaded in, or is in the process of loading in, and Moze is working on it. There we go. It takes a little bit for it to pick up and start rendering stuff properly, but as you can see, we have 2 distinct copies of the game running at the same time with vaguely acceptable frame rates. I hope this helps some people with some farming, and have a good day.